Qualified, skilled talent, and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
All right, 7 minutes after 9 o'clock. Nice looking Wednesday morning. Hope you're doing well. First day of November. Can you believe it? Wow. You know, one of my fondest memories of being a dad was when my son was little and he couldn't read yet. And reading to him. You know, they tell me that was a good thing to do. Who knew? I just had a good time doing it, you know. I don't think I had listened to any doctor who wrote a book about reading to children. I just knew it was fun, and we did it, and now my son is a successful guy, and I'm sure reading had a lot to do with that. His ability to be successful and his enjoyment of reading. He became a really good reader, by the way, if you don't mind me just continuing to brag about my son over and over again. There's a book here I want to tell you about. Speaking of reading, reading a book, I mean, as opposed to a Wi-Fi book or a Kindle, like what do you call ebook? Ebook. I have no problem with ebooks, by the way. I love ebooks. I'm just saying that sometimes, you know, the Wi-Fi goes out. So Kishmi Davis is on the phone. Kishmi teaches at the middle school level. She's an author. She is a member of the North Star of Texas Writing Project. She's a member of the Society for Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, and she's a children's book insider. Her book is called Wi-Fi Kicked the Bucket, which happened to us early September when we had no electricity right from the storm. This is a funly illustrated, by the way, book. Kishmi Davis, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing awesome. How are you?
I'm good. What a beautiful book you've written. Thank you for coming on the air to talk to us about it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Where are you? Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Waxahachie, Texas.
Oh, my gosh. How's the weather out there today?
It is. It's a little, seems like it wants to rain, and it's a little cool. It's cooler than it usually is about this time. But yesterday it did rain, and then they said it's going to be 80 today. You know how it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
It's really cold, and it's really hot, and it's one of those days.
This time of year, yeah, Florida's the same way. Let's talk about the book, Wi-Fi Kick the Bucket. Before we talk about what's in the book, let me ask you this: Do children serve as somewhat of a test marker? Like, do you talk to your own children and read the book to them before you actually release it as a published item?
Oh, absolutely. I get my children to give me insight because I have a 16-year-old, and I have a 12-year-old, and I have a 10-year-old. So I have a high schooler, a middle schooler, and an elementary school student, and in my house. So I talk to them, and I try to find out. Like, I didn't even know what the social media stuff was called that they used. So I had to interview my high schooler. I'm like, hey, can I put Facebook in there? She's like, Mommy, please don't put Facebook in your book. No kid would read it. Okay, kids don't do Facebook.
Oh.
So she had to tell me.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's like, Mommy, Facebook is for old people. So I was like, oh, okay. So I had to do that. I had to put the terminology with YouTube and Snapchat and, you know, certain things I had to put in a book to make sure that it appropriately appealed to the audience that I wanted to target.
Oh my God!
I had no idea.
Very smart, very smart. Okay, so you wrote the book. Now tell me what the story is. Is there a story behind the story? Like, did something happen? Like here in like you had a storm before we had a storm in Texas. I mean, how was your? I mean, what did the Wi-Fi go out at one point?
Yeah. Was it last summer? Or was it summer before last? I forgot when I wrote the book now. I think it was summer before last. When school was out, and you know how, well, they really look forward to school being out. All students do. Teachers do too, honestly. But the school was out. It was about June. And so all my babies talked about, my 3 children talked about was just getting on the Wi-Fi and just vegging out on the internet. And I was kind of like secretly hoping that, you know, maybe they found something different to do besides just sit on the internet. And ironically, our router to our internet stopped working right when summer hit.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Okay. And so, oh, wow, it was horrible. They were having a fit about it. And I thought, this is interesting. I mean, really, it was a big deal to them. they didn't know what to do. They sat on the couch and just kind of looked around, and it was interesting. So, and they were trying to get me to fix it, and I thought, let's just put it off for a little bit. And I kept putting it off, and they eventually figured out something to do. But it was really interesting. At first, they were so used to being connected that when they were disconnected, they didn't know how to connect, if that makes sense. They didn't know how to just personally connect.
Oh, that's interesting.
Level.
Yeah, that's kind of a great observation. Did they recognize it themselves, or did you have to point it out to them?
I had to point it out to them, and they were in denial.
They were in denial. And so did you have to be the clever one to come up with stuff to do, or did they figure out on their own how to do it?
Nope, I did not. I didn't help at all. In the book, the mother actually helped, the students use their creativity, but I did not. In real life, I just kind of walked away and did my own thing. And if they wanted to sit around and look crazy all day because they thought they didn't have anything to do, then hey, 24 hours a day, help yourself.
Wow. Well, let me ask you something. I mean, I remember as a kid, oh my gosh, it was so easy to find something to do. A bicycle, a basketball,
board games.
A board game, so many things, yeah.
Yeah, just use your imagination. You don't even have to do anything. You just think of stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's a list of stuff for us, but they're born with a device in their hand. So they don't really have the opportunity. They never had that downtime to even, use that side of the brain, really. Their brain is on, and they're using one part of their brain and one part of their brain only.
Oh, my
and if they
God.
put down that device and they have to use that, use that creativity part, that creative part, then that's the problem at first, that critical thinking part. So.
But you've done a most excellent job conveying the different personalities of the children and their disappointment not being able to use their devices, but the parent coming to the rescue and making them see what she wanted them to see without being authoritative. She made it fun.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't want to be too pushy with the book, but I did want to deliver the message, that their balance is good and it's healthy, and it can be fun too.
The book is on Amazon. That's where I found it. I put a picture on the podcast.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at the podcast, that's the cover of the book right there. And you're getting really good reviews. I'm wondering if you've had any feedback from parents who said, you know what, after reading your book, I'm not waiting for the electricity to go out anymore. I'm just going to have a time out and then just go out to a picnic or something. Do you have people telling you that?
Yeah, actually, I have some really nice supporters at my school who bought a book and who have young children, and they get it. They get that it can be an issue if there's not balance, and especially when the children are younger and younger and younger who are connecting to the internet.
Love the artwork of the book too. It's they really each character has their own visual personality as well as what you write.
Yeah. Yes, Joshua Listrick did the illustrations, and we're working on another book right now. So I love him. He is. All I did was I just gave him the manuscript and kind of told him, hey, I have children about this age. I want them to be about this age. And he just ran with it. That's all I did. I mean, he just knew.
You sound like a good mom and a good teacher. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for what you do and for sharing this with us. I think you've hit on something that we needed to pay attention to, and you made it fun. And so that means the kids will read the book. And you know what? They'll see themselves in the book. They'll say, hey, that's me.
Absolutely.
Right?
I agree.
Kishmi Davis, thank you so much. I have a copy of the book. It's called Wi-Fi Kick the Bucket. If you want the copy that was sent to us, please call us. It's an illustrated book for children. Keep that in mind, but you're welcome to it, of course. I found it on Amazon. Do you have a website of your own, Kishmi?
I do. It's www.kishmidavis.com, KISHMI Davis, DAVIS.com.
Okay, excellent.
And you can it takes you to all of the websites and social media and Amazon. It takes you everywhere.
Well, this is the first time I'm saying this year. Have a great holiday season, Kishmi.
Thank you so much for having me. It's fun.
Hold on, let me give the book. What looks like somebody's calling for the book. Good morning. Do you want the book?
Good morning. Yes, Larry, I do.
And who's this?
This is Grace.
Grace, you got it. It'll be waiting for you.
Hi, Grace. Thank you. Hi. Hi, Robin.
Good morning.
So excited.
Thank you, Kishmi. I think you got a hit on your hands. The phone lit up. I wasn't looking at the computer monitor. Then when I did, I noticed there were a few people who wanted the book. Kishmi, again, thank you for being on the show with us. Have a great holiday. Come back with the next one.
Larry. All right, no problem. We'll do.
All right.
Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you. You too. We are up against that break. Let's take the break, and we will be right back.
Palm Garden announces Fast Track. Fast Track. Focused assessment, safe transition. When a new guest is admitted to Palm Garden, we start with the ABCs. A is the assessment to determine what the guest needs. B is for basic care, which is excellent nursing and therapy. And C is for consistency to provide what's needed throughout the stay. Fast Track. Palm Garden will get you home fast, really, really fast. Take a fast tour of Palm Garden located at the corner of Southwest 27th Avenue and 34th Street.
Honoring one of the best-known household products that's been around for several millennia. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
USDA service centers in Florida are holding disaster assistance and hurricane recovery workshops in 48 counties for farmers and ranchers impacted by Hurricane Irma. To find meeting dates and locations in your area, go to fsa.usda.gov/state-offices/Florida. Workshop topics include financial assistance programs,